Hello everyone and welcome back guys to Project Cars 2, yes. We're back on this game. I haven't played this game genuinely in over a year. But yeah, today we're going back to Project Cars 2. It's always had its issues, I think there's no denying that. But LCR are running a European GT3 league. This is actually round 6 of the season. I've missed the first 5 rounds due to other commitments with OMA at the end of last season, and I was busy last week. So yeah, finally made it to round 6 of an 8-round championship. But yeah, Project Cars 2. It's been a while. I am playing this on the Xbox version, so there's still going to be plenty of bugs, I would have thought. I'm pretty certain they haven't actually made any updates to this game since I last played it here. But we're going to give it a go again. Obviously, it's been a very long time. Obviously, Project Cars 2 was really one of the first sort of more sim games that I've ever really played, so I struggled with it a fair bit when it did originally come out. But since then, you know, we've done a fair bit of iRacing, we've done a fair bit of Assetto Corsa, a little bit of R-Factor as well, we've a bit of Race Room, everything like that. So hopefully, coming back to this game, we should be a bit better than we used to be. And from free practice, you know, just practicing by myself, I could tell, you know, definitely I understood this game a lot more. The pace may not have been too much different, but I'm hoping, obviously, you know, maybe the consistency can be a little bit better in this as well. But yeah, this is the LCR European GT3 League. It's basically just the Porsche GT3 car. For this one, obviously around 8 European circuits. And yeah, for round 6, we head to Imola. Certainly a track that I've never really done, obviously, too much racing around, because obviously it's not on the Formula 1 calendar anymore. But obviously still quite a fun track to go back to on different games as well. This is currently on board with my fastest and, I'll be honest, only lap of qualifying. This, I forgot about the no false feedback bug on Project Cars. Obviously on Xbox, for those of you that aren't aware, if you load into a lobby, you've got to recalibrate your wheel or you just won't get any force feedback. And once you do, you might get the right force feedback settings, you might not. It's a bit of a lottery at the end of the day there. But yeah, down in towards the final couple of corners, this lap was, yeah, done without force feedback, or very, very limited force feedback there as we head out of the final couple of corners and down towards the start-finish line here. It is going to be a 1 minute 46.4, if I'm not mistaken, there or thereabouts. Yeah, over the line, a 1 minute 46.461 there. So a little way off the pace. It was about 2.5 seconds, I'll be honest with you, off my PB, but really, I was aiming, you know, to try and get into sort of a mid-44 if possible here. So about another 1.9 seconds improvement here. And yeah, going on towards the end of qualifying, you can see I've already got the splits for a 44.1. And like I said, free practice, I've been able to run a 43.9. So I was quite happy with the pace coming into this one there. As we head out through the chicane, they're making quite a big mistake, actually, through the chicane. We unfortunately bogged down on the exit there. And as we head down in towards the final couple of corners, we're 1.7 seconds up on my previous best here, so we're only about a 10th off provisional pole at the moment there. As we head down in towards the final couple of corners, we're just going to run slightly wide, and that's going to invalidate my lap and the next one. So that was wonderful in the dying stages of the session there. And yeah, Imola, to be fair, I had supposedly come to quite a bad track in terms of track limits. You know, this place is just super, super strict. It's basically like, you know, Spa in iRacing. This is, you know, R-Factor, Project Cars 2's equivalent there at the end of the day. So it is only P6 on the grid. It was Jork who starts from the pole there ahead of Kingsley, Jolly, Melanie, Ben, myself, LK and Apex here. Very much just an LCR gathering at this point of the championship. But we'll wait and see as to what we can muster up in the race. The lights are coming on now then for the LCR Project Cars League, and it's lights out and away we go. They're getting off to a fairly decent start. Actually, we were alongside Ben off the launch there, started just behind him, but we do get a much better run down in towards turn 1 there, and we're already up into P5 of the race there. Kingsley and Jork going side by side through turn 1 there. I think just behind us we are going to slot in to single file as we head through the first couple of corners here, and potentially able to get a bit of a run on my teammate Melanie here. Potentially being able to have a look up the inside in towards turn 4 there. We're going to think about going for it there. We do actually try and make it work, but through the next couple of corners there, he's just going to hang us out to dry, and yeah, we slot back down into P5 off the start there. So still making up 1 place in the opening couple of corners there, but definitely feel, you know, we had the pace to be fighting. You know, I'd love to try and get a podium in this race, and that was roughly where I felt the pace could have been here today. Obviously, Jork, I'm pretty certain he's won basically every race this season. He could pretty much mathematically guarantee himself the title. In fact, I'm pretty certain he did wrap up the title here tonight in this race there. So obviously he's looking to try and wrap up that, get that sorted there. Kingsley in second, Jolly in third. Never obviously really raced those guys or anything outside of Formula 1, so their pace for me personally was going to be a little bit of an unknown quantity, obviously. But I know Mel, you know, he's one of those jack-of-all-trade kind of guys. So is Ben just behind us as well, you know, always willing to give it a go on everything there, and obviously very, very quick no matter where they go there. But as we head down through the chicane for the first time on the opening lap here, you know, we're trying to keep it nice and tidy. We're trying to get, you know, the tyres up to temperature, everything like that, getting at the brakes into the operating window, just sort of working out where the grip limits are, everything like that, as we actually go slightly into the back of Mel there. Luckily, neither of us picked up any damage from that one, and on my screen, didn't really feel the contact. Mel certainly said, yeah, he felt a little bit of a punt come from the rear there. He said punt, I prefer to call it a love tap at the end of the day. But as we head on to lap 2 there, yeah, we have made up that one place off the start there. Ben just dropping back a little bit behind us as well as we head down in towards turn 1 there, trying to get the car slowed down nice and tidily here. And when you got it hooked up in this car around here, it was really, really satisfying. Quite difficult to do so, but yeah, really, really good when you did get it all hooked up and sorted here. And this is always the thing going back to a game like this, obviously, where I haven't played it in so long, but certainly, you know, the first race round is not going to be very smooth. I wouldn't have thought, you know, we need to try and get back into it. Mistakes will be made, but as long as we learn from them there, as Mel actually runs very, very deep in towards the hairpin there. But yeah, like I said, we just want to try and keep it tidy as best as possible and see where we end up at the end of the day. Obviously, LCR are looking to do a little bit more on project cars. Obviously, we've got Automobilista as well, that's meant to obviously be using this this handling model as well coming in the near future. So obviously, we're going to be very much looking forward to that game as well. That obviously coming, I'm pretty certain, obviously still exclusively to PC. But yeah, that's going to be using the slightly mad engine. So obviously that could be quite good fun there. But as we head down into the chicane here, we might actually be able to have a look up the inside of Mel there. I wasn't actually planning to go for anything up the inside. I was actually hoping to brake early there, but Mel and I broke at about the same point, so we sort of ended up in a weird bit of a pinch in towards the corner there. But yeah, nothing really happened from that one. We're still down in P5 at the moment there. As you can see, Jolly and Kingsley starting to make a bit of a breakaway there. Mel gets a little bit loose through the penultimate couple of corners here and out of the final turn. He's once again going to run a little bit deep there. I think he's actually going to pick up a slowdown for that one there. So we're going to be able to have a look up the inside as we head down the start-finish straight here. And yeah, he's just going to slot in behind us here and actually use the slipstream to his advantage here. And I wasn't actually aware of just how strong the slipstream is on Project Cars 2. As we head down towards turn 1, you can see Mel all over the back of us here. We're going to park it in the middle of the road there. Get way too late, though, on the brakes. Too busy watching our mirrors. And we just dropped the car there, have to park it. Tried not to get in the way of anyone else there. And yeah, get the car back, go in the right direction once again there. And yeah, unfortunately, we are going to be down to the rear of the field there. So not quite what we needed to do. But, I mean, we survived 2 laps of this race there. But yeah, certainly not the mistake that we wanted to make. But, you know, it kind of takes a bit of the pressure off as well. We can enjoy the rest of the race as best as possible there. But yeah, unfortunately, we would be pretty much in no man's land for the next couple of laps here. Apex just in front of us, as you can see, as we head out onto lap 4. We're struggling a little bit for consistency as well here. A couple of people already starting to pick up pens there, actually. Jolly and LK picking up a 2 and a 1 second time penalty respectively there. But Apex, actually, as we head through the chicane, is going to drop it. And so we're going to be able to get past him and now up into P7 of the race once again here. But obviously, we do have to make a mandatory pit stop as well, so that's certainly going to make it interesting in the second half of this race. See what the pit strategies are by everyone in there as well as we head through the final couple of corners. Yeah, we're back up into P7, about 12 seconds off any other car though at this stage of the day. But we'd actually have a couple of DSQs coming in this race there. Not really what I was expecting, in all honesty, but the pit lane speed limit, it is very, very enforced on Project Cars 2, i.e. if you speed, you get DQ'd, which is certainly interesting for a couple of people there. But Ben actually making a bit of a mistake on the, midway round lap 11 here as we're getting ready to make our one and hopefully only pit stop of the race here. And you can see we're only a few seconds back now behind LK as well here. Jolly had made his pit stop, and you can see, yeah, Apex as well, struggling a little bit towards the rear of the field. But yeah, we're going to set up our pit stop for this race there. Jork even, I should say, miles up the road at the moment here as we head down in towards the final couple of corners of lap 11 here, just about keeping it between the white lines. Like I said, Imola is so strict for track limits here, but we had started this race on a set of these soft compound tyres here, and nobody else was going to be pitting onto a fresh set. A lot of people have said, you know, the hards can make it, the softs could not, but they hadn't taken too much wear in the first half of this race there. But yeah, we're going to dive in, end of lap 11. Ben is actually going to follow us into the pit lane as well here, as for some reason very slow into our pit box there as we get some fuel on the car. We're not going to bother with the tyres, anything like that, and you can see, yeah, filling up the car once again. We put about 13 laps worth of fuel in just in case, you know, just to safely get us to the end of this race there. And yeah, we are going to hopefully rejoin the race now. Not too sure what we're waiting for there in the pit lane. I don't know if we need to blip the throttle or something like that to get the car going again. You know, it was on a automatic pit lane. You know, we couldn't drive the pit lane, anything like that. So yeah, Ben has actually been able to undercut us in the pit box there, and I'm not too sure how he managed that, considering he also had to, you know, fix some damage as well for that small knock into the wall just before we headed down into the pit lane there. But yeah, that's going to mean we come back out in this race down in P5 there, and unfortunately Apex as well now has been DQ'd, so not really what he needed there. And yeah, we are now 5th of 5 here, so as long as we don't get DQ'd, you know, we're going to be able to improve from our starting position there. But yeah, really not what we needed at this stage of the race. But yeah, Ben only a couple of seconds up the road here. We'd really spent quite a few laps just trying to get close enough to really go for anything here, and this was always the problem around this circuit. The slowdowns were really kind of screwing us both in this race here. See, Ben tries to get his slowdown and also block me, and we get a slowdown in return there for trying to avoid him through the next couple of corners there. Luckily this time around it does go away very quickly here, but yeah, struggling at the moment, you know, just both trying to keep it between the white lines, everything like that. And yeah, really just hoping, yeah, we can try and get back past him, or at least have a bit of a battle in towards the end of this race. Obviously Ben has done a lot of Project Cars 2 in the past as we head down the hill in towards the end of Sector 2 here. This corner probably the most difficult to get consistently right on the whole track there, as Ben once again runs deep off the exit of the corner there. That's surely going to be another slowdown here. He moves to the racing line, tries to block us as we head down in towards the chicane there, so I'm going to go full send up the inside there. And yeah, we do make that move work, and we now back up into P4 of the race once again here. But obviously now we just got to try and keep it once again between the white lines as we head down in towards the final couple of 90-degree right-handers to finish off lap 18, trying to get the car stopped in time, just running a little bit wide there through the corner. Are we going to be able to pick up a slowdown penalty off the exit? I don't think we have this time round, so perhaps Project Cars gave us mercy this time through, as now with just 3 laps to go of the race, we're trying to block the slipstream from Ben behind us here, trying to, you know, get as close to the pit wall there, really limit his run that he can get on us there. And you can see he's struggling on the run down towards turn 1. Certainly hasn't quite got the run that Mel was able to earlier on in the race there, as we head down through the first couple of corners here, really try and ride those curbs as best as possible here. It's so satisfying, like I said, when you do get it right there, but really difficult to hook it up as we head now down in towards turn 4, down 1 gear, down another, as you head through turn 5 here. And yeah, really just running out a little bit wide, and that is going to be another slowdown, and that is just how easy it is to pick them up around this circuit there. And yeah, really, it just makes it frustrating, I'll be honest with you, at the end of the day there. Is, yeah, Ben's going to be able to sneak back past us once again here, and yeah, it's just a bit frustrating. You know, I don't know if every track's as bad as Imola, from what people are saying. You know, not everywhere is as bad as this circuit, but it, you know, really just disrupts the flow. It kind of ruins the racing a fair bit as well. You know, if people are having to stop or not push every couple of laps here. And I know, obviously, you know, you're not pushing every lap anyway, but yeah, just affects your rhythm, everything like that. It just ruins a bit of fun for me personally at the end of the day there. It's Ben and I both trying to weave left and right, trying to have a potential sniff up the inside in towards the chicane. They're braking a little bit earlier than we were expecting. Really ride the curbs through there, putting a lot of pressure through the car as we head out of the chicane here. Now just 2 laps to go of this race. You can see we are closing up to Ben once again there. He's actually a little bit slow in towards the corner there. We have a bit of a look up the inside, but Ben does sneak it around the outside there, runs wide into the gravel there, and that might be another slowdown as we head through the final couple of corners there. We make a big hash of the final corner there, and now once again ducking back into the slipstream of Ben. Are we going to be able to get a bit closer as we head down towards turn 1 here? I don't think, you know, there's no way we're going to be close enough to go for anything as we head in towards the first braking turn there. But you can see we are trying to get a little bit closer. And yeah, once again, into towards the braking. Try and get it slowed down nice and tidy there. Ride the curbs through 1 and 2. You want to avoid it actually through turn 3. That can really, really upset the rhythm of the car. They're just using up all of the curb on the exit as we pick up another slowdown in towards turn 4 there. Luckily, we didn't lose too much time from that one there, as through the next couple of corners we go. Turn 4 and turn 5. So satisfying when you do get it right there. In towards the hairpin of turn 6. Exceeds just going to run a little bit deep once again here. Are we able to open up a bit of a run as we head up the hill here? We're in the slipstream once again. Are we able to go for anything? We get so close there. Ben's aware of it. He goes defensive in towards the corner there. And unfortunately for me, only just clipped the wheel on the curb there. We tried to get on the power, and unfortunately that does send the car around. And yeah, that was going to unfortunately ruin the rest of our race there. But actually Ben, he wanted a bit of a battle as well in this race towards the end there. So he would actually wait up for us as we head out on to the final lap of this race there. Jork comes through to take home the race victory and yeah, wrap up his title as well. So congrats to him. Hopefully, perhaps if we come a bit more consistently for Season 2 of this championship, maybe, it'd be intriguing to see where we could find ourselves in the title fight there. But yeah, Jolly comes through for P2 at the end of the day. They're ahead of LK. Ben, you can see just in front of us, trying to get it slowed down nice and tidily in towards the final couple of corners there. We're going to really ride the curbs through there. No idea how we didn't pick up a warning there. Ben, we just accidentally punt him as he tries to go slowly there, and he's actually going to pick up a slowdown as we head down towards the start-finish line here. It's going to be a drag race to the line here. Who is going to be able to come out on top there? Ben picks up a 1 second time penalty just at the last moment there, so we do rather cheekily take P4 at the end of the day there. But yeah, that was a really, really good fun race in the end, I'll be honest. Actually setting a 1:45.4, so only setting the second fastest lap of the Grand Prix, only a couple of tenths off Jork there at the end of the day. But yeah, it is Jork who takes home the race victory and the title, like I said, ahead of Jolly, LK, myself, and Ben at the end of the day there. But yeah, certainly looking forward to the next couple of races. We've got Silverstone and then Portimao to finish off the championship there. But yeah, going back to Project Cars 2, not as bad as I was expecting, I'll be honest with you. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video nonetheless. Do get yourself subscribed if you're new around here and you do want to see more Project Cars 2 content on the channel. But yeah, that'll do us for this video then, and hopefully I will see you guys next week where we head to Silverstone.